What's up, guys? This is Jacob Hunt back again. Episode 1 of the 2020 NFL season. I'm super excited to be back. It's felt like the longest offseason possible with everything going around in the world. But super glad, super excited to be back to talk about this 2020 NFL season with you all. And back again with me this season is none other than my best friend Mark Milam, who also did Hunt's Hot Takes with me last year. Mark, how has your season been?
Been pretty good, man. Glad we're doing this again.
Absolutely. How's the old Rona down there in Kansas?
Not too bad. Not too many cases. I think I'm pretty safe.
Hey, I'm negative here, so as long as you're negative,
that's good.
We're good to go. Guys,
negative is a positive.
Negative is a positive. These episodes are actually going to be a lot quicker, kind of short, sweet, to the point, less rambling, and kind of more meat for the videos. So today we're actually just going to talk about, Mark and I are going to give both of our top 3 off-season moves that we're most excited to see and who we think may have the biggest impact on their new teams, kind of new phase, new team scenario. And then we're going to rank our AFC divisions first to last and kind of see what we think there and what we think is going to happen in the 2020 season. So really to kick things off, I'll start us off with one of my top 3 off-season moves. And of course it's the quarterback position. That's the most important position in all of football. And of course, I'm going to play Homer here, and I'm going to go Phillip Rivers. It's really weird to say. Actually, I think Monday was exactly a year ago that Andrew Luck retired. I got all the little Facebook memories. I didn't want to share nothing because, still soft spot. But it's kind of weird to RIP. It's kind of weird to see 17 in a Colts jersey in the little training camp videos I've seen. But I know he had 20 interceptions last season, Mark, and was a little sloppy with the Chargers. But if you think about the difference in the Chargers and the Colts, the most glaring thing is the offensive line. I mean, league-wide, we're known as probably a top 3 offensive line in the league. Chargers have a terrible offensive line. So he's not going to have to play hero ball all the time because we also have Marlon Mack in the backfield, rookie Jonathan Taylor in the backfield. The pressure's not all on him to make a play, and I think him being back with Frank Reich and Nick Sirianni, who he actually had his best years with in San Diego statistically, I think it's just a picture made in heaven for him. So that's kind of my notable quarterback move. He's got a great run game, great offensive line, good core receivers, good tight ends, and a good coaching system around him. I think he'll be a lot more efficient because he won't throw the ball as much. And obviously he's been there. Yeah, he's been there. He's done that. He's got experience. Late fourth quarter, I think he can get the job done. And we'll be looking good this year. Mark, who's your quarterback? New face, new home that you're most excited to see?
I got to say Cam Newton, and only because the guy was was kicked out of Carolina. Like, I don't know what happened. I mean, he was the franchise. He got so disrespected. I mean, it's like they've just completely just left him out of the history books there in Carolina. Like, he never existed. So I think he has a lot to prove. I don't know if he's going to be any good, and it's not even clear he's going to be the starter. But
yeah, that's weird.
I'd like to see if he can do something. I've always been a fan of the running quarterback. So, I mean, if he can make something in New England, that's going to be pretty impressive. So I'm pretty excited to see what he can do this year and maybe, show Carolina what's up.
We finally get to see what Belichick can do without Tom Brady. That's kind of what I'm excited to see.
True.
Like, was it Brady? Was it Belichick? It's weird that Cam Newton MVP is competing with Jarrett Stidham and Brian Hoyer, but I think that's kind of all fluff for the media. I think Belichick knows who the QB1 is. My second offseason move I'm excited for. This guy was probably the best running back in the league for 2 to 3 years. A fantasy first-round pick every single year. And then it's just awkward knee issues. Like, is he hurt? Is he not hurt? Why didn't he play in the Super Bowl? Todd Gurley is no longer with the Rams. He's in Atlanta with the Falcons. And I think this is great. He played college ball there. I think the Falcons system is a little more, is going to be great, honestly, because he's not the main guy like he was in LA. Now you got Julio Jones, Matt Ryan slinging the rock, and then Gurley is just kind of feed off that energy there in the dome. I think Gurley will fit well. Of course, if he's healthy, I think he can get back, maybe not to the best back in the league, but I think he can get in that top tier again in that Falcons offense. What do you think about Gurley in Atlanta?
I don't really know if he has anything left in the tank, honestly. I think he might be one of those players that has had those really good high, couple good seasons, then starts to decline, but I hope he does pretty well. But staying in the same kind of area, I'd like to say I'm excited to see Gronk as a Buccaneer, because I thought he was done. He seemed like all the head trauma he's gotten from the NFL just really did him in, and but I guess
he's over in the WWE.
I know, he went to the WWE. He won a belt there, but I guess Tom Brady convinced him to come back, and we could obviously talk about Tom Brady as probably the biggest offseason move, but it's just gonna be cool seeing Gronk and Tom Brady back together. But I'm more of a Gronk guy myself. How about you?
Yeah, I love Gronk.
Yeah,
he was
hard not to like.
In his prime. Yeah, even with me being a Patriot hater, Gronk was just fun to watch. He was undoubtedly the best at his position. There was no debate. He kind of really started that dominant, elite, wide receiving tight end that we see now. And I'm kind of where you were with Gurley. I don't know if we'll see the same Gronk, but it's possible. It's possible with Brady, man. I guess anything's possible with him. But to round out our list, I'm sticking on the offensive side of the ball. That's what fans love to see. I'm going DeAndre Hopkins. Hey, he left the AFC South. Colts don't have to deal with him anymore. That's great. But they traded him for David Johnson. And I think the Cardinals win that end of the deal.
Yeah, I agree.
Am I on the bandwagon for the Cardinals offense this year? Man, I am. I think with Kenyon Drake, Kyler Murray, Larry Fitzgerald, who never drops a ball, Christian Kirk, and DeAndre Hopkins, the top 3 wide receiver in the league, I think it's going to be a super high-powered offense. I think Hopkins is so good that he can individually take Murray to the next level. He can take that next step in Arizona. I know it's a tough division, and we'll get to the NFC next episode, but if the Cardinals can get a little something rolling on defense, I think the addition of Hopkins, who is one of a top 3 guy I'm most excited to see in a new place in Arizona. I'm excited to see the numbers he puts up with Kyler Murray. Mark, end our list with your third guy.
So I got to go with DeForest Buckner as my last exciting offseason move, and just because the dude's a beast, the dude is a stud. He's gonna seriously improve that defense, which was already pretty good to begin with. And you got a quarterback who's coming over who needs all the help he can get. Let's be honest. And if you have a defense that can control that side of the field and just basically have their way with any team, it makes the quarterback's job way easier. So getting DeForest Buckner is going to help the Colts out a lot. I agree. They're doing the right thing, I'll tell you that. They did kind of like what the Broncos focused on with Peyton Manning towards the end of his career, with getting the defense better with a declining quarterback. So the Colts could be maybe not the most flashy team next year, but definitely a really good team.
Yeah, I like it. I'm not going to argue there. We gave up the 13th pick in the draft for him, and honestly, I like it. So that's our top 3 most excited players, new face, new team, who can make the biggest impact. And to end the show, we are going to talk about our AFC divisions and who we think is going to win and where they're going to place. So, Mark, let's start with the AFC East, which is going to look a lot different this year without Tom Brady. The way I've kind of got the AFC East rounding out, I still think the Dolphins finish in last, even though I think they made some improvements. We'll see if Tua is actually the guy or it's still Ryan Fitzmagic. But I got the Dolphins finishing last. I also have the Jets at third. So those are my bottom 2. I think, again, Sam Darnold kind of had the awkward, what was it, chlamydia last year or something? Missed a couple games. But I think Le'Veon Bell will be back more to his normal speed. But I still think they'll finish third. Who do you have, Mark, for your third and fourth place finishes there?
I'm going to flip-flop what you said. I think the Jets will be last. I'm starting to think Sam Darnold isn't who we thought he was, or who he could be anyways. He just doesn't look that good. And the Dolphins, I kind of like the offseason moves they did. Signing Tua, I think I know he's had that injury, but I think he could do some things with that offense. I mean, he could really at least get him over 6 wins, I think, 6 to 7. And I could see the Jets being 3 to 4 wins next year.
Wow, 3 to 4. That's tough. I don't know if we would call this a surprise or a shakeup, but I think most people are maybe moving in this direction of where I'm about to go. But I have the Patriots finishing second. And it's not only the Brady thing. It's, Brady's gone, and they've had a lot of players opting out with Corona, and it's kind of a mixture with I think the Bills are just up and coming. I mean, they made the playoffs last season. They have a good young defense. They got Stephon Diggs. Josh Allen's taking another step. I think Devin Singletary, their running back, is going to have a breakout year. So I've got the Bills winning the division over the Patriots, not by much, maybe like a game or 2. But I think the Patriots players sitting out and the loss of Tom Brady is just too much. What do you think there?
Yeah, I don't think that. I think the Patriots I think the Patriots could get 11 wins next
Whoa.
year, and the Bills aren't good. I just don't see the Bills getting more wins than the Patriots. I think Bill Belichick is just that good of a coach. So, and the Bills haven't really proved that much to me.
All right, moving on to the AFC West. I think these will not be very surprised there. I have the Chargers finishing last, obviously. Is it Tyrod Taylor? Is it not Blaine Gabbert? But Justin Herbert, I don't think it matters. I think their passing attack will just be too poor to carry them. And it's a kind of tough division. So no big reason on why I think the Chargers are going to finish last. I have the Raiders actually finishing third in that division. I really like Derek Carr. But it's more so of how much I think the Broncos and Chiefs are a little more talented. Mark, who's your third and fourth for AFC West?
So I'm going to go with the Raiders finishing last and the Broncos finishing third.
Whoa, Chargers.
I'm a little high on the Chargers for next year, but just because of Justin Herbert. But the Broncos quarterback situation is kind of up in the air. And I don't know if John Gruden has adjusted well to this day and age in the NFL, so I got to go with them going last. I think they're just going to keep getting worse.
Okay. So first and second for me is actually the same as it finished last year. I'm really high on the Broncos this year. They're kind of sneaky for me. I really kind of like what I saw from Drew Lock in this short span. Also, remember they added Melvin Gordon. So they have Phillip Lindsay to go along with him. Noah Fant is a young and upcoming tight end. Cortland Sutton broke out last year. And they added, in my opinion, the best rookie wide receiver in the draft, Jerry Jeudy out of Alabama. I think that offense could be pretty sneaky. And you got to remember, they added a playoff spot this year. So instead of 6 at 7, watch for the Broncos. Watch for the Broncos in that 7th seed. And obviously their defense is usually always good with Von Miller and the boys. AFC West division winner Chiefs, no explanation. Who's your first and second?
Chiefs are winning it.
Yeah.
Chargers, I think, will come in second. And just to expand on my last one, I think the Broncos will still be a pretty good team. It's just, and this division I think will be pretty good. But I think the Chargers are going to go back to not last year's form, but the year before, especially if their defense can stay healthy.
All right, well, so far we've definitely split on the Chargers. AFC North, second to last division there. I've got the Bengals finishing last. I love me some Joe Burrow, but let's be honest, they went 2-14 last season. I can see him winning maybe 5 games. Third place, man, this is tough for me. I'm really swapping between Pittsburgh and the Browns. Browns went 6-10 last year. You got to think they're going to be better with Kevin Stefanski. I loved him. Offensive coordinator from Minnesota. I really liked him running that offense. I think he's going to be way better than the Browns coach was last season. But also Big Ben coming back for the Steelers. So give me the Steelers third. I guess give me the Steelers third. I'm drinking more of the brown juice as I was last year. They're just so talented on paper, man. I feel like Kevin Stefanski will really get them to play well together. So give me Steelers third, Bengals fourth. Who you got? Last
with the Browns. Bengals, and it's not even going to be that crazy. The Browns will get 5 wins. Bengals might get 6. Like, nothing crazy. But
you're on the record now.
I'm on the record. I think the Browns are going to be terrible next year. Then I'm going to go with the Steelers, and it's hard not to pick the Ravens as the winner just because that offense is just so freaking good, and they added J.K. Dobbins. So, I mean, they're still going to be pretty good. They're not going to win 14 games again. I guarantee that.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, no season's the same. You usually don't have back-to-back seasons the same. And 14-2, I don't think they're going to repeat that. But, I mean, they could win 12 games. I mean, I could see that easily. J.K. Dobbins, Mark Ingram, 1-2 punch in the backfield, Lamar Jackson. Can he do this? Can he emulate the same exact things? Probably not. I think he has potential to maybe take a step forward in the passing game, though. He needs to maybe not run so much. Just be careful with those injuries. Teams are scouting him more to run now. So we'll kind of see how Lamar can adjust to now see if he can replicate what he did last season. But I still have the Ravens winning the division. It's not super close for me. Lastly, AFC South. Last place to me is going to be the Jaguars again. I love the mustache, and I love the jorts, Gardner Minshew. But let's be honest, they just don't have much talent otherwise. Leonard Fournette's kind of always up and down. Mm-hmm. And then their receivers outside of DJ Chark, again, are a little suspect. Their defense, man, again, went from, like, amazing, and then they just fell off the face of the earth. They lost Calais Campbell to the Ravens. I think they're going to finish last there. And then third place for me is going to be the Houston Texans. Deshaun Watson cannot carry that organization by himself. So that is that. What about you?
Yeah, Jags, no surprise. They're going to be last. I really think the Titans just had a crazy lucky season, so I think they're going to be third.
Thank you.
But, yeah, so who you got at the top of that division?
Yeah, so I totally agree. The Titans had a Cinderella season, guys. Listen, I watch every Colts game. I see the Titans play twice a year. I'm telling you guys, every single year, I'm telling you, it's a Cinderella season, okay? Derrick Henry was a beast last season. There's no doubt about it. Man, y'all need to quit acting like Ryan Tannehill's freaking Aaron Rodgers or something. I mean, dear Lord, they're 8th in the power rankings. They're this, they're that, they're that. Guys, I mean, yeah, they did some nice things. They ran the ball. They played good defense down the stretch. But let's see Ryan Tannehill go 16 games now and win this division, and he ain't going to beat the Chiefs and the Ravens again like that. I mean, I don't think he's that kind of guy. I mean, Derrick Henry, dear Lord, you can't run him into the ground every season. I don't think he's going to emulate what he did last season. And their defense, to me, is not all that. So, obviously, no surprise. Ring the bells. Hey, guys, Indianapolis Colts are winning this division now. Give me an extra minute here, guys. We're the deepest team in the division, okay? Phillip Rivers is a veteran. We got the best backfield in the division. We got the best offensive line in the division. We now might have the best defensive line in the division with DeForest Buckner. Darius Leonard is wreaking havoc at the linebacker core. Everybody loves him. And Frank Reich is just such a good coach. I think we'll take the division. I'm going to peel back my excitement, and I'll give you the mic.
Yeah, so I got the Texans coming in second. A tornado needs to fly around that front office and just get rid of everybody because it's it's just bad. I feel so bad for Deshaun Watson. But
They have the worst coach in the division, I think. They have the worst coach in the entire division.
Oh, I agree. By far. And honestly, the worst front office. Isn't he the GM too? Or wasn't he for a little bit?
He is the GM, yeah.
That's the worst thing you could do.
Belichick.
Yeah, it's insane. It's really insane what's gone on in that division, or with that team. But yeah, I got the Colts winning. Their defense is looking really good. Their backfield's pretty good too. The only question is obviously Phillip Rivers. Can he produce just enough, which is what he's going to have to do.
Yeah.
But I really think that defense carries that team into the playoffs, and I wouldn't be surprised if they end up in the AFC Championship game, just from the defense alone. Not giving Phillip Rivers much credit here, but
You're not, and I think I'm not saying you're underrating Phillip. I think you're underrating our entire offense because I'm telling you, man, we got a great system. We're about to have 2 1,000-yard backs. I might be stretching it there. I'm just excited. You can do a lot when you have such a good offensive line. I love Michael Pittman out of USC. Paris Campbell's healthy. T.Y.'s going to be doing his thing healthy this year. Jack Doyle's always consistent. Trey Burton is a sneaky tight end addition.
Yeah, that was
he threw the Philly special with Frank Wright in Philadelphia.
Yep, that's true.
So there's that too. But we'll see, man. It is Thursday. We are 2 weeks away from the opener. Texans, Chiefs. Guys, we will be back next week. We will wrap up our divisions and do the NFC, and we'll bring some more content to you guys. Mark, thanks again for being back this year. Super excited again for the season, and we will see you guys next time on Hunt's Hot Takes.
All right, take it easy.